Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, because what I'm about to reveal today could completely change the way you understand women, relationships, and how they truly choose a man. And trust me, this isn't something most men ever hear. Have you ever been in a conversation with a woman and felt that moment, just for a second, when she lets her guard down? Maybe she shares a story that makes her voice slightly tremble, or she admits something she usually keeps hidden. Most men dismiss it as small talk, as harmless sharing. But here's the truth. When a woman shares her vulnerability with you, something profound is happening. She's not just opening up, she's signaling a decision, a choice that isn't conscious in words, but undeniable in energy. She's already chosen you, whether you realize it or not. Think about it. Vulnerability is a risk. It's exposing a part of yourself that could be judged, rejected, or misunderstood. And yet, she's doing it with you. That's not accidental. That's trust in its rawest form. Most men, unfortunately, overlook it. They hear the words, but they don't understand the weight behind them. She's testing. Yes, but not in a manipulative way. She's testing whether you're capable of holding space for her truth without running away. And if you pass that test, even unknowingly, you're no longer just a man in her life. You become the man she's leaning on, the one she's imagining a future with, in the quiet corners of her mind where no one else can reach. Here's the part that shakes most men to their core. This moment of sharing isn't about you proving your worth. It's about her revealing hers. She's showing you pieces of herself that she guards fiercely. And the reason she chooses you in that moment is because in some deep instinctual way, she senses that you can handle it, that you can see her without fear, judgment, or distraction. That is rare, that is sacred, and it's exactly why this one conversation, or even one fleeting moment, can change everything. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what signals she's sending, how to recognize the difference between casual sharing and deep vulnerability, and how this subtle truth can give you the clarity most men spend years chasing blindly. So lean in, because what I'm about to tell you will expose truths that women rarely say out loud, but will always act on. Now let's get real about what vulnerability actually looks like, because most men completely misunderstand it. Vulnerability isn't just tears or crying over a sad movie. It's the quiet confessions, the hesitations, the little admissions that feel dangerous for her to say out loud. When a woman shares these moments with you, it's a signal far deeper than words. It's her saying, without saying, I trust you enough to let this part of me exist in your presence. And here's the thing, trust like that doesn't come easily. Not from her, not from anyone. Most men are conditioned to think they have to perform, impress, or solve. She's not looking for solutions. She's looking for acknowledgement. She wants to know that you see her and don't flinch, that you can sit with her discomfort, her fears, her insecurities, and not retreat. Because the moment she feels safe exposing that, something inside her shifts. Her brain starts releasing chemicals, oxytocin, the bonding hormone that link you to her emotional center. This is biological, it's primal. She isn't consciously thinking, I like him. She's feeling, he is safe, he is present, he can hold me. And when that happens, her attraction isn't just emotional, it's instinctual. Here's why so many men miss it. She might laugh, change the subject, or even mask the confession with a joke. That's her testing the water. She's seeing if your attention is constant, if your presence is genuine, if you are steady enough to be the person she can count on without words demanding it. Most men react too quickly. They give advice, they fix, they panic. But the men who understand, who listen without interruption, who offer calm acknowledgement, those are the men she begins to see as different. Those are the men she chooses without announcing it. Think about the power this gives you. One conversation, one fleeting vulnerability, can place you in a position few men ever occupy. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She doesn't need a hero. She needs someone present, someone consistent, someone whose confidence allows her to drop her walls without fear. And the truth is, once she does, her mind and heart begin to form a blueprint of you in her life. That blueprint is already selecting you before she ever admits it aloud. Understanding this is the first step to recognizing the invisible signals she sends. The next step is learning exactly what to do, and just as importantly, what not to do when she opens up. Because mishandling this moment can erase months of trust in seconds. Let's talk about the signals she gives when she's quietly choosing you. Because this is where most men completely fail. These are not loud declarations. They're not overt flirtations or obvious gestures. These are subtle, almost invisible, yet psychologically magnetic cues. When she leans in just slightly closer while sharing a personal story, when her eyes linger longer than necessary, or when her voice softens while telling you something she's never said to anyone else, that's her vulnerability breaking through. And that's her way of telling you, without words, that you've crossed a line into her trust zone. Here's the thing. These moments are tiny, almost imperceptible, and that's why so many men miss them. She's testing your reaction. She wants to see if you can remain steady, calm, unshaken by the raw, imperfect human side of her. If you react with judgment, distraction, or insensitivity, the door closes immediately. But if you respond with patience, curiosity, and validation, that door opens wider, and every time she tests you, and you pass, you cement yourself further in the place she subconsciously reserves for a man she could see herself with. Notice her patterns. Does she share memories she usually keeps private? Does she talk about fears, past failures, or dreams that feel too big for anyone to hold? That's not casual chatter. That's a window into her inner world, and only a chosen few get access. When she offers that, she's silently saying, "I believe you can understand me. I believe you won't leave." The difference between a man who notices and one who doesn't is often just presence. Just calm, unwavering attention. Nothing else. You don't have to solve her problems. You don't have to impress her. You just have to exist in her world without judgment, without distraction, without flinching. Here's why this is so powerful. Vulnerability creates attachment. When she exposes herself emotionally and sees that you can handle it, her brain associates you with safety, intimacy, and trust, the foundations of love and desire. The more she shares, the more deeply her mind begins to anchor to you, forming a subconscious belief that you are the man she can rely on when life gets messy. And the most dangerous part for other men is this. If she's chosen you in these moments, she's already begun prioritizing you emotionally over others. Even if she hasn't said it, your presence becomes a subconscious reference point, the standard she measures other men against. Now, I need to be brutally honest with you. Most men completely sabotage these moments without even realizing it. They hear her vulnerability, and their instinct is to act, to fix, to explain, or to prove themselves. That's the biggest mistake you can make. She didn't share to get a solution. She shared to see if you could handle her truth, if you could exist with her honesty without flinching. When you jump in with advice, reassurance, or your own stories too quickly, what she feels isn't safety, it's deflection. It's a wall going up. Suddenly, the trust she was building collapses, and the opportunity to be the man she's chosen slips away. Here's what you need to understand. The moment she shares vulnerability is sacred, almost ceremonial. It's a gift she doesn't give lightly. It's an unconscious signal that she sees you as someone rare, someone capable of holding her emotional weight without judgment. And if you treat that moment like a problem to solve or a challenge to conquer, you invalidate everything she just risked exposing. She feels unseen, unheard, and misunderstood, the exact opposite of the connection she's trying to create. Instead, what you must do is simple, but deceptively powerful. Listen, really listen. Let her speak. Let her pause. Let her breathe. Acknowledge her without trying to change her or make it better. A simple, calm, "I hear you," or "Thank you for sharing that with me," is enough to solidify your place in her mind and heart. This shows emotional maturity, patience, and stability, all the qualities she's looking for in a partner who can be there when life gets messy. Notice her energy when you respond correctly. She relaxes, maybe smiles softly, maybe even glances away shyly. That's the signal that her subconscious mind is saying, "Yes, he is safe, he is the one." And each time she experiences that with you, the bond deepens. The blueprint of you in her life becomes more permanent. The more she shares, and the more you respond with calm presence, the more she begins to prioritize you emotionally over everyone else, even men she might find superficially attractive. This is why understanding vulnerability is the ultimate advantage in dating and relationships. Not physical attraction, not grand gestures, not constant validation. Emotional trust built through safe, unflinching presence. Handle it right, and you're already the man she's mentally and emotionally choosing. Handle it wrong, and you'll never get the chance again. Now let's get into the hidden ways women test you through vulnerability. Because this is where the subtle psychology becomes almost invisible, yet absolutely decisive. These tests aren't obvious. She's not playing games. She's measuring your emotional capacity without consciously realizing it. When she hesitates before answering a personal question, when she laughs nervously while sharing something intimate, or when she shifts topics mid-conversation, it's all a test. She's observing whether your attention remains unwavering, whether your energy stays calm, and whether you're genuinely present. Most men fail because they treat these moments as challenges or puzzles, not as invitations into her inner world. Here's the reality. Every time she subtly tests you, she's asking, "Can I rely on him when I show the parts of me nobody else sees?" It's not verbal. It's in the way she watches your reactions, the micro-expressions you might not even notice, and the patience or lack of it you demonstrate. If you react with frustration, defensiveness, or impatience, the door closes instantly. But if you respond with steady curiosity, empathetic listening, and calm acknowledgement, the door opens wider than ever. This is the invisible line that separates men she subconsciously chooses from men she simply enjoys talking to. Notice the patterns. Does she share dreams that feel vulnerable, or fears that make her tense? Does she ask your opinion, then carefully watch how you respond? That's her measuring whether you can hold space for her without controlling or fixing her. The more consistently you pass these tests, the more her mind anchors to you as someone dependable, someone safe, someone worthy of trust, and ultimately desire. She's building a mental map where you're not just present, she's imagining you in moments she doesn't even articulate, moments where she needs support, comfort, and understanding. And here's the secret that most men never realize. She isn't consciously choosing you during these moments. She's feeling it. She's embedding your presence into her emotional subconscious. That's far more powerful than any words, grand gestures, or declarations. This is why men who understand these subtle cues are able to create deep, lasting attraction almost effortlessly, while others remain stuck in confusion, wondering why she suddenly lost interest. The key is learning to read these micro moments without overthinking or reacting. Calm presence, steady attention, and emotional consistency are your tools. Every time she opens up, every pause, every hesitated word, every small laugh hiding nervousness, she's silently choosing you. And if you respond correctly, she's already imagining a life that includes you more deeply than you can see. Now let's uncover the most powerful truth of all. Her deepest vulnerabilities reveal exactly how emotionally attached she is, and whether you're already the one in her mind. When a woman lets down her walls, it's never random. She's showing you pieces of herself she has never shared, pieces that carry fear, insecurity, and longing. The mere fact that she allows you to witness these parts means she subconsciously sees you as someone who could hold her life together without breaking her spirit. Most men mistake this for friendship or casual closeness, but this is far more significant. It's the quiet declaration of choice. Think about the moments when she confesses fears about rejection, doubts about herself, or moments she felt deeply ashamed. She doesn't do this with everyone. She does it with the man she feels can endure the weight of her truth. She's testing not your words, not your charm, but your emotional stability. If she senses patience, acceptance, and calm, she will start mentally prioritizing you above anyone else. This is why emotional vulnerability is far more decisive than flirting, compliments, or even physical intimacy. The man who handles her truth becomes the man she imagines in her future, often before she even admits it to herself. Notice how she behaves afterward. Does she reach out for small confirmations, subtle gestures of connection, or quiet attention? These aren't casual behaviors. They are her ways of ensuring you're still present after exposing her inner world. She is silently mapping out where you fit in her life, assessing whether you remain steady when her defenses are down. If you react with calm presence, you reinforce her emotional choice. If you falter, even slightly, you risk erasing the trust she just placed in you. This is why men often wonder why a woman seems close one day and distant the next. They fail to recognize that trust is fragile, and vulnerability is the currency of choice. The man who consistently honors it becomes irreplaceable. She isn't just attracted to you in the moment. She is building attachment, a deep-rooted sense of safety and emotional dependence that makes her choose you repeatedly, subconsciously, in ways most men never detect. The truth is simple. When she shares her deepest fears and insecurities, she's not asking for validation, she's signaling choice. And if you understand this and respond correctly, you are no longer a man she likes. You are the man she trusts, values and prioritizes above all others. That is a position most men spend a lifetime chasing, and you can recognize it when it happens. Now that you understand how her vulnerability signals choice, the next step is learning how to reinforce that choice without pushing, chasing, or overcomplicating everything. This is where most men ruin it. They think attraction is about grand gestures, constant attention, or proving themselves over and over. But real power lies in subtlety, patience, and emotional consistency. When a woman has shared her vulnerability with you, the way you respond in the following days and weeks determines whether you solidify your place in her heart or quietly slip out of it. Here's the rule: never react with neediness. Neediness is the fastest way to break the bond she just created. When she opens up, if you demand reassurance, overanalyze, or pressure her for closeness, you signal instability. That undermines her trust and reverses the choice she was beginning to make. Instead, show calm presence. Be attentive without being overbearing. Listen without turning her words into problems you have to fix. A simple message that acknowledges her sharing, something like, "Thank you for trusting me with that," does more to reinforce attachment than any attempt at persuasion, complimenting, or heroic action. Consistency is your invisible strength. She's testing not once, but repeatedly, to see if you remain grounded in the face of her fears and insecurities. Each time you handle her vulnerability with grace, her subconscious mind encodes the pattern: you are safe, dependable, and worthy. She begins to associate you with stability and trust, and that builds an emotional gravity that is almost impossible for other men to compete with. She doesn't have to say it, because her feelings are already aligning with you. Another key: give space. Respect the boundaries she's quietly setting as she navigates her emotions. Being emotionally available doesn't mean overwhelming her with constant attention. It means being steady, present, and calm when she reaches out. That balance between presence and restraint strengthens attraction in a way that overt effort never can. Remember, reinforcing choice isn't about forcing commitment. It's about creating an environment where her mind and heart naturally orient toward you. The man who understands this doesn't chase. He allows her attachment to deepen organically, without pressure or anxiety. In other words, you're not trying to win her affection. She's already given it in these moments of vulnerability. Your job is to honor it, reinforce it, and quietly cement your place as the man she has already chosen, emotionally and subconsciously, long before words are spoken. Now we reach the final truth, the unmistakable signs that she has fully chosen you, emotionally and subconsciously, and how to ensure the bond you've built continues to grow. These signs are subtle, yet unmistakable to anyone who truly understands female psychology. It's in the way she consistently seeks your attention in small, meaningful ways, the way she shares private thoughts without hesitation, or how she instinctively considers your perspective before making decisions. She's no longer just opening up. She's integrating you into her emotional landscape. Look for the quiet cues. Does she confide in you before anyone else? Does she share dreams, fears, or memories she usually guards fiercely? Does she turn to you for reassurance, guidance, or even just a calm presence during stressful moments? These aren't casual behaviors. They're her subconscious mapping you into her life as a man. She relies on emotionally, someone she trusts to remain steady while the world around her feels unstable. The more consistently she does this, the deeper her choice becomes, and the more irreversible it is. At this stage, your role is clear. Maintain emotional consistency, presence, and calmness. Do not overcomplicate, overreact, or attempt to accelerate intimacy. You've already crossed the threshold into a place few men ever reach. Your job now is to honor that trust, reinforce the safety she feels, and allow her attachment to deepen naturally. This isn't manipulation, it's conscious awareness. It's recognizing that vulnerability isn't a tool for validation, but a window into genuine choice, and responding in a way that strengthens the bond. Notice the changes in her energy. She may begin prioritizing you subtly, checking in, seeking your opinion, or including you in moments she previously reserved for herself. She laughs more freely, touches lightly without hesitation, and reveals small quirks and habits she would normally hide. These are signs her emotional walls have lowered, and her mind has already accepted you as someone irreplaceable. Finally, understand this: when a woman shares her deepest vulnerabilities and you respond correctly, the connection is no longer fragile, it's self-reinforcing. She has chosen you in ways she may not even articulate, and every interaction afterward solidifies that choice. You are no longer just a participant in her life. You are an essential presence, the anchor she subconsciously relies on, and the man she has emotionally committed to long before any words were spoken. Remember this power, honor it, and carry it with calm confidence, because once she has shared her true self with you, and you've held that space, you're no longer competing for her affection. You are already the one she has chosen, and that changes everything.